Can memory leak occur in Java even with garbage collection? So this is an interesting question. So can memory leak occurs in Java even with garbage collection? So many people think that garbage collector is present in Java, so there is no possibility of memory leak, but it completely depends on how we code also. Even though programming language provides the garbage collection, but whether our code is efficient so that unused data will be garbage collected. Let's see. So let's see when memory leak can happen with some example. This is one of the important thing because in other videos you can say memory leak will happen, but how it will happen we'll explain in detail here. So first we'll try to understand when garbage collector will reclaim the memory or basically garbage collector is used to reclaim the unused memory. So how it will do it, let's say if you have some objects, once its use are done, if there is no reference for that object, garbage collector will pick up that and clean up the memory. But let's say you have created some object, it's not in use, but still you are maintaining some reference, then it will lead to memory leak. I hope you understood. So let's say there is some object which is not in use, but the reference is maintained throughout the application. So in that case, garbage collector cannot reclaim the memory from that object. So that will lead to memory leak. So in case of memory leak, what will happen? Basically, the usage of memory keep on increases. At one point, we'll see out of memory error. So that's an interesting topic. If you want to know how memory leak happens, how to debug it, you can just comment. I can take an example and explain in detail. So here in this example, right, what we are explaining is different types where memory leak can happen. I've taken very few, but there can be many. So this is to make you understand when memory leak happens. So let's take the first example. So we have this list of string. It's named as cache, and we are adding some data here. So this method, right, it is called from here. So if you see here, this method is called 10,000 times. We are adding some data. So it need not be at this line only. In real example, what will happen is, so throughout the application, we may be updating something, or in the beginning of the application itself, we load with some data. It need not be as simple as this. Some data we are loading, but what is the problem with this? So we are just loading the data, but so from the first hand, like it looks like there is no issue with that. We're just creating a list of string and we are just populating with the data. So you can ask me what is the issue? Main issue is it is declared as static. And when something is declared as static, right, it will be loaded as part of the class and it will live throughout the class. So garbage collector cannot reclaim its memory. So this is a case of memory leak when, let's say, if this cache is not used in multiple places. Maybe you initially loaded this, but you did not use it throughout the application. In that case, what will happen is, so this will still remain in the memory, but not used. So not garbage collected also. This is a case where memory leak happens. Let's say this cache is used throughout the application, then it makes sense. You don't need to basically clear it off. This is one example. Second is here, right? We are opening a file and we are performing some operation here. I've not mentioned the operation here. So, so here also, right? You may ask me what is the problem? We are just opening file, performing some action. That's it. Problem is we are loading this file.txt to the memory. So this can be huge memory. It can take the entire memory also. I've seen in my applications only some of the files which are loaded to memory led to crashes. So it's always good to close the resource after its usage. So here we are using this file. Once the operation which is specified in the try is done, we have to close it in the finally block. That's one way to do it. Second way is if I hover on it, it will tell you can use try with resource. So that will also helpful to clear the unused resource, or it will basically close the resource so that garbage collector can reclaim the memory back. I hope this is clear. So there is a third example as well. Here we have a set. Okay, we are creating a key. So I'll show you the key. So key contains ID and we have a constructor. So no equals our hash code. So when we try to add keys, let's say we are adding 1000 here. So same as the first example, it need not be at this short. We can do it throughout the application also. So I have taken example of same ID because when there is no equals or hash code, right? When I do this new key of same ID 1000 times, 1000 entries will be stored in set. So ideally there should be only one entry because this value is important. So this is another case. It is added 1000 times. It unnecessarily used the memory. So, so these are all the few possible memory leak scenarios. This is one of the classic one, the file one, and even the static is also sometimes I've seen people have done it. So I'll just show you an example how it can be prevented also. So here, right, I have created a memory leak prevention class. So what I'm doing here. So the add data still remain, but I have added a clear data or clear cache so that when it is no longer needed, we can call this and we can clear this cache. So if you go here, right? So here I have added a statement. Let's say it got created somewhere in the beginning and I have added a statement to clear this cache as well. So this way you can help the garbage collector to reclaim the memory back. And second example regarding the read file. So here it almost looks like whatever we have seen in the previous example where memory leak was explained. But the difference is it is in the try with resource. This is called as try with resource concept. So this will take care of closing the resource once it is done. Once this execution is done in the try, right? So it will close that resource. Whatever we have opened in the try here, it will be closed. So this way we will help the garbage collector to reclaim this file's memory. So I hope you got it. So third example was related to set. So we were adding it to set with this one. So if you see, I've just overridden the equals and hash code. With this, what will happen is if I try to add key with same value, then there will be only one entries will be stored, not 1000. I hope this examples are clear. What I would suggest is you can play with it. Like you can create your own example for this memory leak and see how it happens and explore what tools we can use to basically debug this and how to avoid this memory leaks by using some good coding practices also. So I'd say practice this, understand this concept clearly. And along with that, one more suggestion would be like explore the different kinds of garbage collectors, how garbage collector works internally, what is the default garbage collector in each version. So that will help to understand more about it. Along with that, understand the memory part as well, how it is structured, what are the different types of memories we have. So this is the exercise for you. Do it and share your observations in the comment section. I'll evaluate that. Let's move on to the next question. So the answer is couple of examples here, like when there is unclosed resources, which we already discussed, strong references in static field, the cache example. Third one is inner class instance holding the reference to outer class. So these are all the examples where memory leak can happen. Let's move on to the next question.